Well, first tank's in the air. Let's see if we can get her placed. There's still a little bit of fluid left in her. Not really that concerned about it. We're just gonna take her nice and easy. Oh crap. I just realized I started at the wrong end. So I'm gonna have to jump up there and move those old jacks. Minor, just a pain in the ass. Well, we are making progress, battling the elements. It's minus 17 right now, but I bet you the wind chill's minus 30. This would go a hell of a lot faster with two people. I've had to lift and adjust the tanks multiple times and tweak the distance in between them just so that I can get where the spouts are going to come down through the floor. So I'm pretty happy with where it is now because, well, just where the C channel is for the deck boards. We're gonna see how things line up on the back though. We might have to get a little more creative. We can butt them up wherever because the hose is gonna run on top there, but it's gonna be where we have to pop through and then go around and tie together. So yeah, I'm banking that the two tanks should come to where essentially the back of the front axle, back of the tire of the front axle there is about where the tanks should come. And that should be okay. We'll have to see where the plumbing goes though. If I absolutely have to, I can actually slide that axle backwards. I shouldn't need to. I don't really want to, because having that axle forward will take a little bit, not much, but a little bit of the weight of this off of the semi. The other option is to move one over there, but that's not happening, I don't think. Hey guys, she was a long, frustrating day, but overall pretty good day. It is horribly windy outside. Let's take a look. And drifting. And it's probably one of the last real nasty days. I guess you can't see that way, but you can hear the wind chattering with the fan vanes. So I decided to work inside today. I didn't really get out here till the afternoon. I had a couple meetings to go to and whatnot. But I got, this is we'll call it the bunk or table or rack we'll call it a rack for the totes. We got this all built. Unfortunately, I welded everything with the MIG and they looked okay. And as I mentioned, I'm not a world-class MIG welder. And then I got to buff both sides down to flush. And because this side is going to have, the underside is going to have checker plate on it. This is actually upside down right now. So the top, which is on the ground right now, is going to have checker plate. The bottom needs to have legs mounted here. So I need some flush spots to mount everything. Those are all the legs. But when I was grinding them flush, there was a lot of porosity. So I had to do a lot of grind outs. And I went back after it with the stick welder. Did a good job of it. I'm happy now. So this is 2x2 by 316. This is inch and a half by 8 angle iron. The legs are 2x2 by 316, except for the middle one on the front is going to be 2x3 by 316 because it's going to have a step in the middle. Probably just like a 3x3 chunk of angle iron rounded off, just so that we can step up onto the deck if we need to, mainly for strapping in the pallets and whatnot. So whatever side we deem as what will be the front, and we'll call it, I shouldn't say front, the open side, which is actually the back where it's going to sit on, is we're going to drill a handful of holes, probably 6 across, just for probably do 3/4 inch holes or something, just to be able to hook a ratchet strap for holding the totes down. The back, oh, and we still, I haven't built the gusset plates yet either, but the back is going to be enclosed in expanded metal. It's over in the corner. The sides, I'm pretty sure I'm going to make them hinged so that we can just fling boxes in. The front, I keep on calling it front, but the open side is, there's going to be nothing on it. I initially thought about putting sliding gates, cage gates kind of thing, and then, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might get lazy and just put like a rubber elastic mesh, hook-in mesh thing. Oh, yeah, something I should mention. If you guys watched that video of me scrounging for parts, this is that fence panel I was planning on using. And it seems like when it warmed up, it really took an extra bow to it. And it was, as I started trying to buff, it was really etched up. And I figured it wasn't worth the time versus the extra cost of steel. You know, steel's $5 or $7 a pound right now for some of this stuff. So I just bit the bullet. It's easier to work with. I would have taken more time cleaning that and cutting it and trying to square it and then re-welding just to fasten it on the backside. I just said to hell with it, we'll build it right. So that's where we stand right now. Something else I did yesterday. I did a little bit of recording, but it was really hard. It was vicious wind chill yesterday. But I got all the tanks moved onto the triaxle. I'm quite happy about where things are lining up. And you'll notice tank number 3, I don't know if I can zoom. That valve, so there's an open spot. Whoa, I'm zoomed in. This is not gonna work well. Woo! Open. Essentially, you see the black circle? That's where the one valve is gonna get moved to, hopefully. I haven't crawled inside to see what's in there. But there's a bulkhead fitting. And I just don't want anything protruding, and the way that one sits right now, it protrudes. Other than that, everything else is lining up pretty good. Probably, whoa, I gotta get back to standard zoom kind of thing. Other than that, everything else went pretty well, to be honest, moving that stuff around. So once we bring it in, I'm gonna do the plumbing, hopefully. I have to weld some cross braces on that landing gear. And we're gonna build handrails. Well, once I get this rack built this week and hopefully painted, we're gonna place it on there. I need to figure out how we're gonna do the feet. I still need to put sheeting down, but you know, we're coming along pretty nicely. All right, so we got the frame, back cage, and rack, deck, whatever you want to call it, all built. Holy, it was a lot of work. Still need to buff everything. There's some sharp corners here and there. And as soon as we flip this over, I realized we forgot to drill the holes here. But that's what mag presses are for. Put this little step here. It's enough to get up. It's almost not big enough, but that can be expanded if needed. I kind of don't want to. I want to keep it as open as possible. And we got that back mesh on. I just need to clean up. There's some overhang there. And yeah, so I've kind of decided what we're going to do today, or when we go to install it. I'm gonna weld some plate across the bottom of the trailer to bridge the two frame rails, and then probably just 1/4 inch plate, front and back. Weld this down, and then I'm going to measure up my plywood and stick it in this way and fold it down. I think it's probably the easiest way to do it. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Just because I want it nice and smooth on the bottom so that we can pretty much shove them across. But I'm liking how it's coming along. It is definitely overbuilt. You could put a friggin', I wouldn't say a semi on that, but you could probably put close to 10,000 pounds on that thing. She ain't gonna buckle. All right, so we got this guy all painted up. This is the tote rack. Very happy with how it looks so far. I left the very bottoms, well, of most of them. I think there was one I painted right to the bottom. I still have to weld it to the trailer, so I'll do touch-ups then. I also have to, these legs are sprung just a hair out, so we'll mount it on the trailer. We'll get everything back square and weld it in place. And then once I put the doors on, I have to weld another piece where there's going to be a pin. But overall, I'm very happy with how it's turned out. So next week, we should be pretty much in assembly mode. Probably on the weekend here, I'm gonna salvage some plywood from the farm. And then next week, I'm gonna put this on in place, gonna put the doors on. All the tanks are already on, and I should have almost everything I need to get the chembine once I have the wood down. The only thing we don't have built right now is the handrails, and that's because I want to make sure I've got this placed right. And then, yeah, we got to cut a bunch of shit off the trailer and then weld handrails on, ladders, hangers. It's going to be fun.